All right, team. We're going to go ahead and get started. I'm Chuck Fu with Traders War Room. This is our pre-market show, and we're going to go ahead and knock this out real quick. Just a few notes before we start. We had a fantastic week last week. We're expecting to kind of have a... All right, team. We're going to go ahead and get started. I'm Chuck Fu with Traders War Room. All right, sorry about that. Had an echo. Anyways, we had a great week last week, and we're going to go ahead and look forward to this week. We got a lot of banking earnings coming up and a lot of energy earnings coming up. This is starting the beginning of earnings season. So we're going to look into some of these stocks. We're going to see what we have popping off and try to get some good, ideas on some movers and shakers coming into this particular week of trading. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Guys, don't forget it's our birthday month. And with that, we have huge sales on all of our platforms. We have basically 50% off or more on all three platforms, the Discord, the instant message platform, or the text message platform. So definitely, if you want, or you ever were thinking about getting into TWR, or you were a previous member, you got out for a little bit, you want to come back, now is the time, because at the end of October, these prices will never be this low again, because we offer way too much value to keep the prices this low, and we're just going to put the prices at normal. We'll do discounts here and there, but they're never going to be drastically cut like they are currently. So take advantage of this for the entire month of October. I put out for an entire month to get as many people aware as possible. And after this month, you can't say that I didn't warn you and I didn't give you the best deal possible at one time, because you're getting everything at least 50% off. Text message alerts popping off, guys. We're starting to build this platform. It's a fantastic platform for other people that kind of just want alerts sent right to their phone. They want to cut out some of the noise of the other platforms. The other platforms are great. And, I don't say not to have them, because, I want people on the Discord as well, because we have all the bells and whistles over there, and on the instant message platform as well, because we have a lot of great information over there as well. But it's kind of a good supplemental thing, because sometimes it's just hard to open up Discord when you're just, going through a working day, or you're in a meeting or something. You can't focus on all the dings and pings and stuff like that. But you got your text message right there, and, you get a simple alert. Hey, this is popping off, and, I'm entering at this point right now. Go ahead and take a look at it. You can quickly look at it. If it makes sense, you take the trade and make some money. And that's the idea there. Trading University, again, we got a great university over here, college level curriculum, trading and investing style. We got digital class form. We got a digital platform. We got, discussion forums, homework assignments, video content, all that you would have at a normal college education type of online university, except this is for trading and investing. And we got it right here for you at Traders University. And then the one-on-one mentoring. If you need a little help, man, we're here to help. Okay. All of our sessions are recorded. We provide great information, really deep dive into you as a trader and get into your personality as investing. And we want to provide you with the recording. We want to give you some documents that we go over, some little tidbits, cliff notes, stuff like that. It's a fantastic opportunity, and we are one of the cheapest in town for the type of quality we put out. So definitely take advantage of that. And our 2023 campaign, I've told you guys, we got an active 2024 campaign out there. We want you to come up with the slogan. All right. What do you get if we select you for the slogan? Well, we're going to pick the winner on 1 December. And what you get is you're going to get lifetime access to all 3 platforms. You're going to get lifetime access to one of the TWR University courses. You're going to get a box of TWR merchandise of swag, and we're going to give you a cash prize. So if you got some catchy slogans that kind of meet the intent of what TWR is all about, please send them our way. We want to hear from you guys. We're going to pick the winner December 1st live, and then that person is going to get the package winning of all the prizes that we're going to give. And then that's the slogan we're going to roll with in 2024. Now, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. One moment, please. All right, you guys are able to see my screen here, of course. All right, we're going to talk about SPY first. Let's go into SPY. All right, and let's see what SPY's been doing. Okay, the 5-minute. Looks like we're gapping up a little bit in SPY. We took a little dump, and it looks like in pre-market we gapped up significantly, pretty good, which is okay. You know, we got some longs going into this. We got 433, looked like 433, want to breach that 435 period. And that's good for, you know, what we're looking for. If we go ahead and pull back, right now we're above our threshold here that we did last night on our pre-market show. Pre-market show showed us here, right? So we pop up. So what happens when we have a significant jump and we have to kind of, you know, reevaluate our levels? Well, what we like to do is we like to go back into the pre-market area and we do the high and the low. Okay. So basically we're going to look at, no, not now. We're going to look at where we were at low in pre-market and where we were kind of high. And we're going to go ahead and put our lines there. So, you know, we got a line here. We're going to move that line up here to the top, right? This is our current level here. We're going to go ahead and put another line here at the bottom, right? And then what I like to do is, because it's so volatile and fluctuation, right? I'm just going to put a line right here in the middle. Just I'm going to find some price action, right? That kind of meets this criteria. And I'm just going to eyeball it and put it right here in the middle. Boop. And usually you'll find that that's pretty close to the current price anyways, when you're starting to look at it, right? So we're going to go ahead and put that there and boom. Okay. That's basically our battle zone. So what does this tell us? All right. Well, this tells us, hold on. I think I was off. Okay. That was a moving average. I'm sorry. We're actually at the peak currently right now. Okay. So got to reevaluate that. So our battle zone is going to be right here at the peak line. We're actually right here. So we got to come at the top. We're still going to use the bottom as our bottom thing, but now we got to just come it up. I want to come up to the flush area. We're going to turn that red. Sorry, my eyes were messed up for a minute. We're going to come up, instead of going onto the wick, we're going to come up to the support level. So now we got our battle zone here. And now what we're going to do is we're just going to go base off of previous price action, either day prior than or the earlier day, right? And so we can look on the 15-minute chart over here and kind of see where we were at previously. So here's the current level. Let me hide these. All right. And we noticed that, you know, we got some levels up here, which we like. We don't want to go all the way up here because that might be a little too aggressive. We might miss some things, right? We can come right here because we got the push and we had some pullback dumps and then some spikes and stuff like that. So we like that area. That area is okay for us right there. So then we go. Now we got our trigger levels. We basically say, okay, here's our point of access, and we're telling ourselves, all right, SPY, if we close above this battle zone line, high probability of us at least traveling towards 435.50 and before we hit some resistance, because that would make sense. That would align with previous price action, right? Anytime you're traveling in a bullish trend, the idea is to reach a new recent high, which means we want to beat this previous high that we created the other day. So we run here, and then if we break there, the likelihood of us surpassing this is high probability. If we fail, we're coming down here. We're going to lose about $2 again, 42.50. And then the idea here is we may dump and try to surpass and gap fill the gap that we had. And then we might see some rejection from down here if we're holding up on the upper plane. And if not, we may see some, rejection back down to the downside, because we've seen it here before. Previous day shows us the pattern. We spike up, come up here, and then we sell off hard, right? We've seen it before because we got all this time frame. So we're spiking up, we could pop up, breach this, and then we could sell off extremely hard coming into the market day. So we just need to be careful on that. QQQ. All right. 5 minute, 15 minute. Similar story with the Q. We're not going to beat this one up too much because it's pretty similar to the SPY, except for the Q, as we well know, the Q is moving with the technology stocks, the big names in technology. So if the technology names are moving and shaking, if the technology names are moving and shaking, then the Q is going to be popping, okay? When you see some divergence between the Q and the SPY, it's because there's different tickers making the market move, all right? The SPY has a lot more, tickers inside of it than the Q does, and it's more varied. So the financial sector is hot right now, okay? Or it will be hot. It's volatile. There's a lot of financial earnings coming up, right? So we're going to be looking at that and seeing what's going to happen with the financial sector. That wouldn't really affect the Qs too much, right? The financial sector is not going to affect the Qs too much, except for in, some of the / the fintech type of industries that might be inside the Q. But, definitely if we're starting to see some slides, then we'll probably see some of the bigger tech slide as well. And we could see the Q affected by that. But I'm not seeing a huge gap up on the Q, not like we saw on SPY, just kind of a normal rise on the Q. So we'll be watching this one as well. IWM. All right, this is one that I'm really paying attention to. This one gapped up, and this one's the small market, right? This is a small medium market, and these will fare well on some bullish trends. A lot of these have earnings coming up. A lot of these are the smaller, small cap to mid cap range stocks that are more growth categories, more speculative in nature, and we're seeing a little bit of a bullish push on this. So IWM is a good ETF to trade. A lot of people don't trade it. They just stick with SPY and Q, but I'm here to tell you that the IWM moves fairly well and good enough with enough volume that you can start trading this as well to catch some runs. Typically it runs, similar to SPY. So if you're seeing SPY move in a typical fashion, you can probably bet that the IWM will move as well. Very rarely does it counter what the SPY is doing, but you'll see some divergence and some difference between the IWM and the Q very often. All right, I got some watch lists I created last night. Go straight. There we go. All right, see where we're at. All right. Price change, high to low. All right. All right, here we go. So Allstate. Ooh, look at Allstate. Allstate popped off pretty good. I don't know if Allstate, this is really moving on some light volume. You can tell that by the price action here. But this is a significant move. I mean, look at Allstate popping off pretty much. I mean, this is of course yesterday, right? Or last week, but we went from 414 all the way up to 419. That was a significant pop. And now we're kind of seeing a little bit of some stag coming into it into this week. So it could be interesting to see what happens with Allstate when the bell opens. It seems like it doesn't like to play during pre-market. So we're probably just waiting for the bell to see what happens. But definitely after this push here, unless this is pushed because of a fundamental reason, I don't know much on this one. I'll have to pay attention. I'll have to read into this. But if this is pushed because of fundamental reason, it may hold and we might see some more uprise. But if it was just pushed on some sort of short-term catalyst or something, we may be wanting to expect a little bit of a decrease. And I would wager that on the dump, we could easily see back to this previous level here, where we saw the first dump before the next rise. We can easily come back down to about 418, maybe 417 at the least if we come back on a slide. So be watching that. That's a good one. Gold looks like it's slipping a little bit. It's actually gapped down. So if you pay attention to gold, if you do the correlation between gold and regular market, typically gold will run inverse to the regular market. So the S&P is running up, gold will run down. We got the S&P gapping up, we got the gold gapping down. So it'd be something to watch, particularly, puts. If S&P likes to continue to run, puts might be the way to go on this one. We've seen this before. Got a gap to fill down here. I mean, you're not going to make too much on this unless you do shares, right? But if you're doing some options, you have to buy a few options, but the option contracts are fairly cheap on this one. So you could buy a few of them and you make a little bit of, make a few moves, go fill this gap down here. Devon Energy. This is one we're watching. Devon Energy. We're watching this one. We like Devon Energy. Giving us a sell sign right here on the 5-minute. We still got a buy sign on the 15-minute, but we're starting to lose our moving averages. So Devon Energy looks like to be losing some of this momentum. It'll be interesting to see what happens in the bell. Yeah, we're starting to lose momentum. We start to cross these moving averages. RSI dumping, MACD dumping, SMI dumping. Looks like we want to squeeze to the downside on the TTM squeeze. Remember we talked about in the video the other day, 3 reasons why to push to buy. Well, if we're playing options, we got to wait till the bell. But if we want to go ahead and short stock, or we want to, look for stock to potentially sell because we've been in it for a while, then we're looking at some catalysts here, getting across to the downside, right? Getting that death cross, confirming it with sub indicators, always a good idea. Devon Energy looks a little weak today. All right. Let's see. XOM. Oh, XOM popped and then it's popping and dropping. I'm a little surprised at XOM. I was expecting XOM, and it's probably because of the push it had here, buying this PXD, that you're seeing a little bit of fluctuation. I'd be expecting Pioneer to, already be at about, 115, 120. But, stocks are weird, and, who knows what makes or break the stock, But we're looking like we're kind of descending right now. Typically on this type of pattern, descending, we usually will get a spark to the upside. So I'm expecting probably a little bit of a jolt to the upside coming into the bell. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a little bit of sell-off going into the bell. We hold our moving averages and then we get a jolt, but we got to be cautious because we're starting to lose our moving averages here. But one thing that's kind of getting me an idea that we get the spike at the top, right, once the bell rings, is that we're starting to get oversold on the RSI. Even though we got the cross here, we got some of this divergence going on where we're starting to sell, but it's not a huge sell, right? It's kind of just, just descending in a pattern. And then we could get the spike at the bell pushing us a little bit. So it'd be fun to watch to see which way it goes. I'm going to bet that we get a little bit of a spike to the upside. All right, we got Wells Fargo here. Get into some of the banking names. Got a gap up in a pre-market. Wells Fargo is one of our names that we like to trade. We got to remember it used to be like a $60, $70 stock. Okay. If Wells Fargo can do fairly well, like JPM did, Wells Fargo can push. Probably, I don't expect it to go back up to 60 or 70 anytime soon, but we could definitely see 45 for sure. 45 is in the ballpark. Let's see. Knee. Yeah, some of these energy plays are starting to cool off. So energy's looking a little weak right now. iSurge, they have earnings coming up. iSurge is a good one to trade. This one, I like to trade iSurge because this one is one of those that can move you 5 to 10 points very easily, specifically in options. So I like to trade options on iSurge. If you can catch the trend, it moves very well. I mean, look at this move here, like we did on Friday. Coming out the bell, 267. All the way to 273. I mean, this thing moves. When it moves, right? Then you come back in the consolidation zone, right? And then out of consolidation zone, it popped against 270 to 273, right? It moved again, 3 points there. This one from this point here, 67 to 73, 9 points, so it move or 6 points. It moves pretty good. We like iSurge. And I'm just looking, this is a scanner I ran last night looking for specific stocks based off of volume, based off of price action, based off of some parameters I set, and gave me some of the good ones to pay attention to today. This is how I pick my stocks, guys. Anytime I'm looking for stocks, sometimes I'll catch something that I'm just checking. I'm looking into something, but other than that, I'm using these watch lists I create off of my scanners and stuff that I got different scanners for different things I'm looking for. Push volume, right? Increased open interest on options, increased volume on contracts and options, increased, change in opening from closing and stuff. Nike, I saw Nike here. Where's Nike? Nike got the gap up. Boop, boop. All right. I like Nike. Nike's kind of being hard right now. I like Nike over 100. I like Nike to 105 eventually. I like Nike to 105, but it's holding this 100 area pretty legit. Like it likes this little 100 area. It likes this 99 to like 100 area for some reason. But we do look like we're looking like we want to break out. If we break out, I got a feeling anytime we break out, we broke out of this pattern, right? We broke out from here and then we break out, we get about a $2 move. So once we break out of here, expect about a $2 move. So we're expecting Nike to probably push to 150, maybe 102, get a $2 push once we break out of this area that we're here at. It'll happen sooner than later. If you want, Nike's fairly cheap right now. There's not too much implied volatility juiced in. So if you want to go ahead and start setting yourself up, I'd be looking out to the end of the year on contracts and, looking at the 105, maybe 110 going a little out the money, but not too far out the money. Don't go nothing crazy like 120, 130, something like that. Just trying to catch a cheap deal. You want to make sure you're in range to make some money. Okay. We don't want to just throw money at contracts. We want to make sure there's, a solid reason for it. Datadog consolidating pretty good over here. Pretty, some sideways movement here. Keeping it pretty level. Datadog will be a good one. We don't want to trade this right now. We don't want to get into a trade on Datadog right now because if you look on a 30, what is this one? Is this 30-minute chart? We had this downward trend here, right? Okay. And now we're kind of got the sideways movement. Okay. We want to break. We want to find the break either to the upside or to the downside. Then we want to trade the trend. Right now we're in this consolidation pattern, and who knows how long this consolidation pattern could last. And it could basically just kill us with premium just bouncing around in about a 75-cent predicaments. Okay. We want it to breach. Okay. We want it to breach here and drop, or we want it to breach and pop. And that's when we want to start riding Datadog. Right now, coming into this consolidation zone that you can see here, we should have been playing it here, but it wasn't on the radar. But it's on the radar now that we're in this consolidation mode. We're watching. We're either looking for the pop or we're looking for the drop. And once we see the signs of one or the other, we're going to go ahead and take the trade and we're going to ride it. If I were to bet, I would bet, unless they got earnings coming up and they got some sort of catalyst, I would bet we probably get a little bit more of a downtrend on this one, a little sell-off before we see a pop coming out of consolidation. I could see a little bit of another leg down. Starbucks kind of in the same boat. It's struggling a little bit, kind of rangy right here. It's starting to creep above its 50-day on the further out charts. But it's struggling, especially with its overseas market. So, the high probability of Starbucks coming back down, losing these moving averages is high. Okay. So again, we want breaches. Okay. We want breaches right here. This is not good enough for us. Okay. We need solid breach above, breakout, or breach below. Right now, we're looking like we're popping a little bit, but we're staying within our moving averages. We want like green closes above our moving averages to give us the trend to the upside. Then we can start riding this for the bull push. If we stay like where we're at now, we're just going to wait until we get either the bear or the bull sign. Last one I'm going to give you is Disney. We like Disney. We're looking at Disney calls right now, and that's based off of some catalysts that are going on with Disney. So we're looking at Disney from a perspective, from a long perspective, and we like Disney towards 90, back towards 90. That's where we think Disney will end up going, $90. So, it's not going to get there very quick. Disney doesn't like to move very fast, but at current level where we're at, we like Disney to 90. Oh, and I want to give you one more before I leave. Boeing, man. I like Boeing towards 200, back to 200 right here. We got to get some room to clear first, right? But I like Boeing from here. We're still valid on our move. Okay. I did this chart last night. We're still valid on move. We just got to move our price charts a little bit, right? Just got to move these a little bit. Okay. Move that, right? But I like Boeing. Okay. Boeing, we're good towards 190. That's what I think on the bull side. By the end of the week, 190. I think we curve fairly well where we're at, and we start to creep, and we go get retested at 190. See if we can hold that, and hopefully we can hold, and then we start creeping back up towards our 200. Okay, Boeing doesn't like to be down at this level for very long. As long as we can, pop and show that we can hold support above the technicals, we'll be good to go to start to see the little track back towards 200 on Boeing. All right, guys, that's all I got for you. Let's go out there and make some money. Shiner will have the live trading room open for you here shortly. And after that, I'll come back periodically, hopefully see you guys around lunchtime. And as always, just remember, man, if you're not TWR, you should think about it, okay? At least come to one of our free groups, okay? We got free groups out there, you don't get the good stuff, but you get okay stuff. You know what I mean? That's what you get with the free stuff. You get good, you get okay, advice. You get, some good signals. I've been giving out some of that fire for the free YouTube trades, but I mean, if you want that good shiz, right? You want that, Snoop Dogg sticky icky. You got to come to the TWR premiums, guys. You gotta bite the bullet. You gotta join the team. And hey, it's 50% off right there for the whole month of October. So, you might as well join now, because those are only going to last until October 31st. And then the price is going right back up to normal. All right. All right. Chuck Food Traders War Room. I'll catch you next time. Let's go out there and make some money. And as always, if you're ready, follow me. Let's go to war. Later.